Welcome to This World Is Not Our Homestead. My name is Jenny, and this is Hannah. Hannah, can you say hi? Oh, you're too cute. Okay, this will be my first garden tour. Oh, you want to say hi, buddy?
Hi.
This is Israel, my handsome little boy, and he's adorable. He's going to be joining me on this garden tour as well. Here are my sugar snap peas. They are doing beautifully. I purchased them from MI Gardener, and I love their seeds, and I love sweet peas. Down below I have calendula, and over here I have mullein, and I dug that mullein out of the gravel off of the side of Highway 5. Over here in my side garden beds, I have Ozark Razorback cowpeas. I was very happy with those. They grew really well. Even though I planted them late July, I was able to get a full harvest out of them, and they're still producing, but they won't for long. We have a cold front moving down through the state. Right here, oh dear, my children have found me. Here, I'll show you. There's Naomi and Dean. They will probably continue knocking as long as I'm standing here. But this messy bed right here, which is full of Bermuda grass and all sorts of weeds. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Is actually my strawberry bed, and it has Ozark Beauty strawberries. I will have to weed this bed very well before spring. I'll probably let y'all join me for that. Don't worry, you don't have to do any of the work. Here I have jicama, or Mexican potato, and the only edible part of the plant is the tuber. I planted those at the same time I did the cowpeas, so I'm not sure if I'm going to actually get any tubers out of that, but I hope so. I'll probably let y'all come along for that too in a different video. Here is my purple asparagus. I often joke and call it can't stand up straightagus because it falls over all the time. But there's a purple one right there. I broke the top off and ate it a few days ago, so sorry I can't show you that. But this is longleaf dock. Oh look, there's a, what's it called? Hollyhock? Yeah, that's hollyhock regrowing in there. Hollyhock does not do well here in central Arkansas. It's doing well right now because it's winter, but it can't handle the heat and humidity of summer. It gets rust and dies back. I do have another garden bed here out front. This is a fig tree in this big old pot, but it is not a big enough pot, and this poor tree is confused by our weather, so it's put off brand new growth. I might stick it in the garage or in the house to try to help it overwinter, but it will not give me fruit. Yeah. It probably will never give me fruit until I put it in the ground and it's happy. I have some lambs here that I put out here as well. He's right there. And there's another little one right there. And we have a garden bed over here. This bed, there's a giant tomato plant. It grew the most big, beautiful orange tomatoes. It was supposed to be a boxcar willy, but I don't think that's actually what it was. I could be wrong. If you grow boxcar willies, do they go from green to yellow to orange to red? Or do you think this is some other variety? And it grew nice big tomatoes. Or at least some of them were big. They weren't all. Hi, Naomi. I also have Myanmar turnips and beets and purple potatoes in this bed. And these were my husband's purple whole peas. They grew incredibly well with the full sun, and I don't think they're picky about soil. Here I have some raspberries. Actually, I think we might have blackberries and raspberries over here. I'm not sure. They accidentally got weed-eated down to nothing and had to grow back. But they are growing back, and we should get some fruit from whatever they are next year. I forgot to show you the ginger. Right here in this pot is ginger. We started growing it from store-bought ginger, and then we thought we harvested it all and moved it, but it came back again. So this is a super plant to grow if you want something that's durable and comes back. Right there, there's Israel's tree. He planted that from a clementine seed, and it is growing so good, isn't it, buddy? He's pretty proud of his tree. I'm not sure how big it's going to grow.
No, I know how big.
How big do you think it's going to grow? Show me. That big? Okay, well, we'll see. It probably needs a few more years, but we'll see. I hope it gives us yummy fruit. Are you too cute? Yeah, you are. Come on, let's go see the other plants. All right, here I am in my garden. Not garden. I'm in my garage. I'm sorry. I have a banana tree in here, and my pepper plants are in here for overwintering. This one, this is big one here, is my ahi mango pepper plant. And this plant was the star of my garden. It doesn't grow bananas, buddy. I know it's a banana tree, but they want long, hot summers that basically last forever. And our summers don't last forever. Maybe someday. I don't know. But we don't have any bananas right now. I love this pepper. It's fruity and incredible. It is spicy though, so I usually grind it up as a pepper powder. It's what? Okay. And I have more peppers right here. I have some Lacia. See right there. But I don't know if those are going to ripen here in the garage. And I might just have to harvest them and prune the plants and hope for a better harvest next year when they can get bigger out in the ground. This is my daughter's dragon fruit that she planted from seeds from the dragon fruit we ate. She loves dragons and all things dragon, including the fruit. Come on, buddy. Okay, we are now in the backyard. It's so nice out today. It's late November, but it feels really good. But there is a cold front moving into the state, so I'm glad I get to show you my garden tour before the cold gets here. Here is a blueberry bush. Another blueberry bush is hiding behind this basil plant that looks oh so nice. It's little bitty. Hi guys. I know he's not a plant, but this is Rue, my very handsome rooster. He's a good boy. Yes, he is. He's so handsome. Such a handsome rooster. Yes, and where is Coffee? There she is. And this is Coffee. That's Israel's favorite hen. She looks just like her daddy. No, she's a girl. Dad. Oh, sorry. That's her daddy. That's Rue. And that's Coffee.
Mama, that big thing right there.
That's Rue. Yeah, he's the rooster. Sometimes I tell my children to name things really cool names, but then I name my rooster Rue. I guess I'm just as guilty as them about, picking interesting names, I guess. Here I have another basil plant. And underneath that basil, there is some mint. I'm not sure if it's wintergreen or spearmint, but it's one of those two, and it smells incredible. I love those mints so much. Roman has this annoying habit where he drops his ball wherever I'm working. Right, Roman? Because he knows it'll annoy me, and I'll toss it to get rid of him, and then he will bring it back and do it again. Here he comes. Hey, Roman. All right, I'll throw your ball. There you go. Happy boy. Okay, this is a beautyberry tree and a little piece of lemon balm. That's lemon balm right there. I used to have a large pot. It's actually that big broken one right on the porch right there. It used to hold lemon balm and it thrived. It was amazing. It was wonderful. But the pot got brittle and one of our little rain barrel catchment things fell on it and broke it. So I had to transplant it, and transplanting didn't go very well. And it's still kind of recovering. I want to put it in the ground, honestly. I've thought of rebelling against all sound wisdom and putting my mint in the ground. You're supposed to be taking a nap. Do you have children that don't take naps? No, you don't? This gorgeous thing right here is... Roman, stop. This is St. John's wort. It's... In here, there's also a palm tree that I planted from a date seed that I did not think would grow, but it did. It probably will not survive. I actually pulled it out earlier today, but it was still growing, so I went ahead and put it back in the pot. No thank you, baby. My hands are already full. As you can see, I got my Hannah and my Naomi and my nuisance, Roman, putting his ball in my St. John's wort pot. There. Yeah. St. John's wort is an incredible herb. I absolutely love making a tea out of it, but I like to make the tea over coffee. So every morning, you know, I make my coffee in the percolator, and later in the day, I'll harvest some of the St. John's wort and put it over the coffee grounds and like brew coffee tea is what I call it. Coffee tea. And it's just so good. I was actually reading an herbalism book at a lady's house one day, and it had some warnings against combining St. John's wort and coffee. Apparently some people can't handle that and it causes issues and they have to kind of pick one. But I haven't had any adverse reactions. I absolutely love it. I will continue to drink it. I'm not exactly sure what the issues could be. Probably mental, not being calmed by it. But for me, it's calming, it's incredible, it's delicious. Here is my lamb's ear. That is from my good friend Libby from years ago. And I actually owe her thanks, in addition to my husband, for my camera actually working today so that I can record this garden tour. Next to the lamb's ear. Lamb's ear is super durable, by the way. I transplanted some out front. I think I showed you that. Roman, don't you eat my St. John's wort. No, sir. Roman, go on. Go. He's eating my St. John's wort. I'm going to have to hide my plant or something. You cannot have my plant, sir. No, you may not. Naughty dog. Alright, I'm going to have to do something to protect it because that plant is too good to share with my dog. I'm sorry. You get other things to eat, okay? Not my St. John's wort. And this pot here is Jerusalem artichoke. A lovely lady named Angela gave me some Jerusalem artichoke earlier this year, and I planted it in this big pot. I really don't feel like it spread much, so I'm planning on harvesting it and spreading the tubers out in the hope of it multiplying more next year. And I also plan on at least cooking up one of them to try them because I've never tasted them and I don't really know what they taste like. I know they're really healthy, even if they end up not being the tastiest things in the world. Hopefully we can find a way to use them. I've heard fermenting them is really good, but nonetheless, carrying on with the tour. Here is my comfrey, and comfrey is an incredibly powerful medicinal plant. You can look up all sorts of stuff about it online. I'm not gonna focus on that right now. This is kind of a sad part of the garden. It had some tomatoes, but they are obviously sputtering out. You can hardly see them here. And there's basil. The basil actually did quite good there. I wasn't aware that basil doesn't like being pampered. It can handle drier soil. This is where some of those peppers in the garage got dug out of, and the eggplant. And I also had mung beans planted along this row. Unfortunately, one of the ducks, one of the Muscovies, escaped and decided mung bean seeds and pods were delicious, and they ate my plants. But such is life with animals. Here we have a brown sugar tomato and some basil and a couple kind of sad little peas growing. This monster is my Indian giant snake bean plant, and I grew that for the first time this year. There was a strange bug on me. He's gone. Hey buddy, don't mess with that. The Indian giant snake bean is a member of the gourd family, and it was an incredibly vigorous grower. Germination rate was only 50%, but this plant grew like crazy, or at least one of them did. That one didn't grow as well. Its stem is smaller, but it still grew pretty well. That one's much thicker. And this plant has a very strong musky odor. I do not think it smells like peanut butter. Some people do. I do not. I would just describe it as very musky. Kind of stinky, honestly. I don't like the smell. But it could potentially, I think, be used to disguise the smell of other plants if you blended up the leaves with some water and then put it, like, strained out all the particles and sprayed it on other plants. I really think it could hide their smell so pests are distracted or can't find it. In with this plant, I have a yellow pear tomato. Those were given to me by my stepmother years ago, and I had never seen tomatoes like that. Roman, stop it! You're as bad as the kids. Dig in a hole. Roman, quit. Sometimes I have to take his balls away so he can't just dig holes around them in the yard because he's bored. Roman, quit. You're doing it again. He's such a stinker. But he keeps the critters safe from raccoons and things like that are out in those beautiful woods. Oh, so beautiful. Okay. Yellow pear tomatoes. Delicious, tiny. What is that? Oh, it's a cake topper unicorn horn. That needs to go in the trash. Yes, it does. Okay. The tomatoes. Marielza brought me some tomatoes, and they were delicious and unique and beautiful. Cute little yellow things. I can't see it. It's right there. And I saved seeds from them so I could try to grow them. And I did. And that was the very first tomato plant that I grew that really did well. It was massive. It was practically a giant bush covered in hundreds of these little yellow tomatoes. It was very encouraging as someone who has really struggled to grow tomatoes for years, to finally have success. And I saved some seeds, and I was starting to run out of seeds. I kept trying to grow them again here in the backyard instead of the front, and they were not thriving. They did not do well. A whole lot of them never produced fruit except for this one. And thankfully, I was able to harvest seeds from this one, so I will be able to regrow them again in the coming years. I call them Vovo's tomatoes because she's from Brazil. They're not from Brazil, I mean, that I know of, but she grew them here in Arkansas and shared them with me. And my little passion fruit are regrowing. You right there, this little guy. Oh man, if you've never tried passion fruit, it is so good. The underripe ones taste like green apple Jolly Ranchers with that. I'm serious, it's so similar, it's shocking. And my aunt brought me a whole bunch. Mine have never produced fruit because here in the backyard they don't get much sun, but they're so delicious. I was just standing at the kitchen island eating them because it's like eating candy, but It's not candy. It's an Arkansas native fruit that tastes like candy. The ripe ones are delicious too. They don't taste like green sour apple Jolly Ranchers, but they are good. Okay, here I have a sugar baby watermelon. It's not gonna give me fruit. There's no way that's gonna happen this year. Gardening is a consistent learning experience, and this year I learned that certain plants absolutely will not produce fruit unless they have enough sunshine, and they can't get that in my backyard, unfortunately. I have lavender in this pot and chives. I saw at Lowe's one time earlier this year some chives, and they had hot pink flowers. It was on the seed package, so I'm not 100% sure if that was real or altered, but I wanted to buy them and I didn't. And I've got like non-buyer's remorse. Is that a thing? You know, like I wish I bought it, but I didn't. So I don't know if chives with hot pink flowers are real or not, but if they are, I want to find them and I want to grow them because I love hot pink and purple in my garden. And I probably would say black too. I'd probably put that on the list of colors. This is a sweet mint. I haven't used it much, but as I use it, I've tried to prune it back to make it grow more bushy because mints are just wonderful for teas. This is a Meyer lemon tree, and it's from Stark Bros. I got this 2 years ago for my birthday, and when I pruned it, I planted all the prunings in random pots that were around it. I just kind of stripped the bottom part of the leaves and stuck them in and hoped they would grow, and they did. However, when we had Frostpocalypse a few years ago, I might have my years mixed up. I'm not good at keeping track of days and times. I'm really not good at it. So obviously, I got this plant before Frostpocalypse. But anyway, when Frostpocalypse came through, it got down below, like around -2 degrees in central Arkansas. That's not normal, and it was not pleasant. It was so cold. Oh, even in the house, it was so cold. Roman was a puppy then. Maybe I got my tree 3 years ago, and Frostpocalypse was 2 years ago. That's a guess on the timeline. But anyway, it killed a bunch of my lemon trees, unfortunately. But thankfully, one did survive. I'm not sure why, because I think I left them all out there thinking they'd be fine. They weren't fine. But one did make it, so hopefully it continues to produce, and I will plant those clippings whenever I do prune it in the hopes of having more lemon trees, you know, in the coming years. This is thyme, and there's a garlic planted in the middle and a couple weeds scattered throughout. Here in this big bed, I've actually planted a lot of stuff, but things aren't doing too well. I have some Mangle Mammoth beets, little bitty ones, growing here. They should get massive eventually, I hope. I also have elephant garlic, and I don't know what is going on with the bed. I feel like some stuff doesn't sprout, and I wonder, should I wait longer? And I really just need to replant. Like, I'd rather have too much growing than not enough. So I need to replant. That's what I need to do. Over here, we have some Ragged Jack kale. They're itty bitty. See it right there. And some turnips and radishes. Some tatsoi. That's what it's called. Got a little, I believe these are my tatsoi. I don't know. That looks like there might be too many right there. Maybe that one's tatsoi over there. But that's a wonderful green to grow. It's mild, incredibly nutritious, and incredibly cold hardy. And they're pretty too. They end up with these big rosettes, like it just grows all around. Really pretty. I have random garlic in here because I ran out of my elephant garlic, and I just grabbed some Costco garlic and stuck them in the ground. Over here is my sweet potato. The garden bed in the front yard is usually devoted to my husband's potatoes or sweet potatoes. But there was one sweet potato that was just huge, and it was so huge, and it was growing a whole bunch of slips, and I couldn't not let it grow. Like, I just couldn't do it. So I came out here in the backyard and I put it approximately right here and covered it up with leaves and hoped it would grow, and it did. I have no idea if I'm actually going to get any sweet potatoes from it, but I mean, the plant's alive, so theoretically there's some roots in there, and sweet potato roots are sweet potatoes. We will see, and I will definitely record my harvest or lack thereof, whichever the case may be, for you to enjoy with me. I was about to say I thought we were done, but no, I missed a whole garden bed. This is not the whole garden bed. This is my thyme plant again. I have. That's because you were scooping rabbit manure. Of course it stinks. All right, this is another garden bed. We have a little rosemary right there, and I have carrots. These were my brown sugar tomatoes. Very delicious tomato. It was a quick grower. I plan on growing that again in future years. I have parsley. Dean, quiet. This parsley I thought was a summer crop, but apparently not. It has taken off ever since the weather cooled off. Right here is ginger. I dug the ginger out of that front pot that I showed you earlier, and I planted it here. And I wasn't aware ginger was so hardy, but it really is. It's a super growing plant. There's a volunteer blueberry right there, and that's Tulsi holy basil. And these were prairie fire tomatoes. I had really high hopes for those tomatoes, but they ended up being a disappointment. They were really beautiful tomatoes, and they grew very fast. They produced fruit quickly, but they just weren't anything special flavor-wise. And what was originally really cool is that when they would grow, they would like naturally wrap around things like a vining plant. But over time, those the parts of the plants that was wrapping around stuff, it would die and just kind of be like see those green pieces? I mean, not green, the brown pieces on that. That's kind of how it was. There's brown, dead branches everywhere. Oh, here is one of my bigger elephant garlics. Look how huge that is. That is so big. Oh, and I have Egyptian walking onions down the middle. And I have a little coneflower right here. Horehound and leeks are in there. Some carrots are along here. And one long pea is still trying to carry on here. Honestly, we've got a little bit of a rat issue, so I've got a little rat funnel area. I have a big basil, but yeah, this tomato, I'm gonna have to cut back all these tomatoes at the ground and plant something else here, because the cold is already in the state and it is coming our way, and it will get here sooner rather than later. But I'm very happy that I got to show you this garden tour. I need to get back to putting my children down for a nap like they're supposed to be. Except for you, Hannah. You took your nap. Yes, you did. Here's a volunteer. I think it's called sarsaparilla. I'm not sure. But some part of the plant, whatever it's called, is edible. Potentially medicinal. I mean, basically everything has health properties or the opposite, you know. Thank you for coming on this garden tour today. You know how when you invite people over, you clean house so they come in and, you know, your house is clean. I didn't do that with my garden before doing this tour, so I hope that was okay. And I hope you'll join me for more videos in the future. Thank you. Bye. Hannah, can you say bye? Can you wave? Can you say bye? You're like, no. Oh, look, she did it! Say bye! Wave with your hand. Bye! Come on. No. Nope. Okay.